So what was it like being bullied?
I hated it because I would never like interact with anybody. I was that like one oddball in the class, and I would get made fun of for getting like math. When I would fail in like a test, they would like, ha ha, she's stupid. But
Are you getting bullied to this day?
not that I think about it. No.
Ashley, do you have to read that whole thing?
So what about your friends? Do they bully you?
No, we just joke with each other. We just joke with each other.
What do you have to say about like people out there that's being bullied, about to commit suicide for them being bullied?
You shouldn't do it. You should talk to somebody. Always talk to either an adult, a parent, or a close friend. And if you feel like committing suicide, you should call the hotline.
Agree or disagree?
I disagree on bullying because like why like people that bully somebody else is because they're like their parents don't like care about them, they don't show them love, so they like just like get all this anger and release it on somebody else.
Look, I agree with you.
Come on.
I agree with you. Eu não gosto de tu beleza, gente, quando eu não. Do you mind when pela gente tá, when you boss tell you to pay his coffee? Like, hey, my call, really? I'll pay my coffee. That's why this bullying. Bullying does half of the work that is good.
Have you bullied somebody?
She's smiling like.
So how do you bully her?
I don't know, just like annoying her, making fun of her, tickling her. She wild, she get hitting me. But I can press charges. She don't know that though. I can press charges.
I don't know that.
You don't know
I
that.
don't know.
So Johan, what you think about bullying? So how do you feel about bullying?
I feel like it's irrelevant, honestly. What is the purpose of picking on somebody else to make yourself feel better when you can just be nice to everybody?
Have you ever experienced bullying yourself?
Yeah, for 7 years straight, and it's still going on.
Can you explain why?
I honestly don't know why, but there was this group of girls where there was about 12 of them, and they kept picking on me about my height, about my head, about my fatness. Apparently I'm fat. They picked on me for other things as well. It was just like, what's the point of it?
So how do you feel about people committing suicide?
I feel as though when it comes to that point, you just want to take all of the pain away. You want to let go of everything, and you want to get away from everybody talking about you and bullying you, and not very much people being there for you. So like, I would understand, but it doesn't always have to get to that.
So you've been bullied for 7 years of your life. Do you think it could change?
I mean, I don't think it would change. Everybody sees the same thing. I don't see what they see. But I stopped caring. I don't care as much as what they gotta say because I know who I am. I know what I gotta do. I know what I'm here for. I know who I gotta impress and who I don't have to impress.
Thank you. So how do you feel about bullying?
I feel that bullying is very bad, and among other students, it could tear them down, can make them feel bad about themselves.
Have you ever experienced bullying?
No. Well, yes and no, but it didn't really affect me because I see, like, verbal and physically. No one ever touched me physically in a fight or nothing. And verbally, I just really don't care what people say about me. Trying to offend me.
So how do you feel about people committing suicide?
See, that's on another hand. It's not another level. Suicide, that's the person. They've gone through depression. They don't want to go. They don't want to live life no more because of someone trying to make them feel bad about themselves. I feel very bad for the person. I mean, I don't have no answer for that.
Do you know somebody that was being picked on for bullying?
No. During school, my middle school, high school, I've seen people who got bullied, but it's not too serious like suicide or anything that they want to harm themselves.
Have you
Just
ever
get over it.
have you ever stood up for them?
When I would see it, I would see people getting bullied, but it was like something on a low level. Like people wouldn't mind; they would just let it go. They won't do nothing. We just stayed quiet.
Not right. It's not right. It's not something that you. It's not something you're obligated to do. It's a choice. And people usually, most of the time, people who bully, they got something going at home, or they got some, or they've been treated in a disrespectful way. They've been treated a certain way that they feel like they need to act out on other people. So
Have you ever experienced bullying?
no, because I mean, okay, I'm lying. A type of bullying, yeah. Yeah.
What type of bullying?
Cause I used to be fat, so like when I was super energetic, so I always wanted to do things. But I'd be like, when people said like, I wanted to be on a football team or something like that, they'd be like, nah, you can't pick him up cause he's fat. And me, I was a playful kid, so I was like, oh, okay. And I went around, started doing something else. But at the time, I didn't realize it at the moment. Like my teacher would ask me like, oh, why aren't you playing football? Because they said I was fat. I was like, oh, they said that to you? I'm like, yeah. But I was too friendly with people, so at the time I didn't realize like, oh, they're singling me out. They don't want me to be on their team because of my appearance. So I was like, all right, whatever.
How do you feel about people committing suicide?
Oh,
About bullying?
coming from someone who's tried it, it's not worth it. There's a quote on my phone. It's my screensaver. It said, I asked God, why do you take me through these troubled waters? And he replied, because your enemies can't swim. That meant a lot, because like, there is a time in your life when you go through the deepest of deep, like crazy shit. You think it's the end of your life, like you think it's worth ending your life for, and then you realize like you might be 14 now, and you can live till 50, 60 plus. So like you have more to live for. So ending it at a young age, like you didn't really learn anything, you didn't experience anything yet.
So do you have any words to say about bullying?
Are you actually gonna use this?
Yeah.
Words for bullying. Yeah, I got a couple things to say. If you bully people, you should do one thing. You should look at yourself in the mirror and then actually ask like, yo, what am I doing this for? And then look at like what you're going through, and then be like, use that energy and turn it into positive energy. That's all I really gotta say. And if you decide to take what I said and use it in a different way, in a negative way, then you didn't analyze properly what I said. Imaginary mic dropped.
So how do you feel about bullying?
I feel like bullying's not right. Why would you take somebody down just because something's going through your head or something?
Have you ever experienced bullying?
Yes, like the first 2 years I was in this country because I didn't know the language. So it was hard those 2 years till I learned the language.
What do you have to say about people out there that's your race being bullied?
I don't know, it's like something you have to go through in life.
Were
It makes you
you
stronger.
were you bullied by like Americans, blacks?
Just the whole classroom. Till I learned it, it was like, I'll try to say this word and I couldn't pronounce it. The whole class laughed. But
So how do you feel about people committing suicide due to the fact they're being bullied?
I don't know how to feel about it because you need to be strong and take it. There's obstacles in your life, but once you like know how to control them, everything's gonna be fine.
So do you have anything to say about anybody being bullied out there?
Just be strong. Don't worry about the negative things. Just look at the positive things and the people who love you. And there's more good things and bad things in life.
Thanks. So how are you today?
I am fine, Destiny.
Can you please state your name?
My name is Mrs. Hayden, Vice Principal here at Eastside High School.
So how do you feel about bullying?
Bullying obviously is a behavior that I feel students, adults themselves, shows, I believe people have fear. There is very low self-esteem on someone's part. There is something going on in their lives that they would like to make other people uncomfortable. And so that is my definition of bullying, where they feel that in order for them to feel a little bit powerful or a little bit emasculated, I would say, that they have to put someone down. And they put someone down in many different forms. It could be by the way they speak to someone, the way they treat someone, the way they talk to someone, the way they isolate someone from other people. And nowadays we have the social media, which is a different way of how we try to hurt people. And the bullying gets to a point where you hurt people, and sometimes the victim might end up having low self-esteem just the same. And by hurting them, that causes them even to doubt themselves, their ability, their potential, their purpose. And at the same time, the victim becomes even lower. And sometimes even with bullying, the victim might end up becoming a bully themselves.
So have you ever experienced bullying?
I've experienced it once. But my mom and my cousins actually took care of the matter. The person eventually, based on my cousin's behavior, and I guess I could say that now, my cousin was a bully. But I think the way that my cousin went about it was the fact that I was much younger than that other person, and that person was older than me, and there was a different way that they could have approached me. That person ended up apologizing to me based on what my cousin said to them. And that was the only incident I had being bullied.
Well, how do you feel about people committing suicide due to the fact they're being bullied?
People who commit suicide?
Yes.
Again, those people are down. Those people are lacking, purpose, their self-worth. Obviously, those people have certain issues going on. I can't be the judge of, what it is specifically. But to me, they had a way of crying out for help, maybe, and others may not have seen it. And to have a bully then accost them, mistreat them, and make them feel like they are not needed, that they are unwanted, that they are small. In no way, shape, or form they should have, taken their lives, but they feel that was their only way out. Just like we see the movie Get Out, where the person is just falling into this black hole. That's probably how they felt. That there was no one that could, give them a rope to, guide them out. There's a helping hand to help them out. Obviously, there were probably other means and methods they were not aware of, like there was a phone call they could have made, or they could have talked to someone in the neighborhood, or someone in the school, or someone in their community. And so because they had lack of information, they have lack of self-worth, and a bully was the only person that they saw stomping on them all the time, they feel that there was no way out of that box. And so that's why they did that. And I do feel sorry for their families and for them, because obviously they weren't given enough information. They weren't given a lot of outreach hands to help them to help themselves.
Do you have anything to say about the bullies out there?
To the bullies out there, you know what? There's a lot about yourself that you don't know. There's a lot about other people that you don't know. And obviously you feel that you are empowered, and I think you are following certain models of things that are going on, and you're following the wrong thing. By trying to put someone down, by trying to belittle someone, trying to make someone small, and trying to make yourself feel small, make yourself feel larger, guess what? You are not the giant in this system. And I think as a bully, basically I want you to listen to exactly what you are and what you are doing. You are basically the person who is drinking the poison or waiting for the person to die. And in some cases, that person ended up drinking the poison themselves also, which are the people who commit suicide. And I feel sorry for people who are bullies, because you don't know your worth. You're lacking a lot of self-respect, self-discipline, and you try to take it out on other people. And what you need to do is somehow take a look at yourself. I know you're not happy. I know you're not comfortable with yourself. And that's why you want to spread it out like germs to other people. But right now, there are other people right now that are fighting back. They're fighting back because of the fact that there are a lot of hands out there to help the victims. There's a lot of people out there, resources out there to help people fight back, to understand that they are loved, they have a purpose, they know their worth, and they know that, guess what? You're just somebody that we laugh at, because we know what, at the end of the day, you have to go home with your problems and your low self-esteem, and maybe sometimes you also need a hug just like everyone else. So what you need to do as a bully is, you know what, give it up. Because in the later run, you're going to end up being a parent. You're going to have to go through this when your child is being bullied. You're going to become an adult in life, and the adults that you see that try to do it, in the later run, it catches up with them. They ended up being humiliated, they end up being in prison, or they end up being dead for some reason because of the fact that the way that they treat people. So treat people the way you want to be treated, and guess what? We'll have less bullies in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome.